Segregation is the enforced separation of different racial groups. On January 1st, 1863, Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation to free slaves.
We are free.
Separate but equal Jim Crow laws became the new reality. These laws were to keep blacks and whites separate but equal in all ways. But eventually, it didn't turn out so well. It was definitely separate, but not equal. You can't eat together.
You couldn't play together. You couldn't go to school together.
Violence towards blacks got worse and worse over time. For example, the murdering of 14-year-old Emmett Till on August 28, 1955. He was hung, beaten, and thrown in the river just because he talked to a white woman at the store. To make matters worse, the people who did this to him did not even get in trouble. They were found innocent. Thousands of African Americans saw what happened to this poor little boy.
No whites had ever been convicted for killing blacks.
It is in that setting that he was killed.
He was only 2 years older than us. I am not going to show him, but just know it was very bad.
On December 1st, 1955, a tired Rosa Parks with Emmett Till on her mind was asked by a white man to move out of the white-only section on the bus. She refused. There were plenty of other open seats for the white man to sit. He just had to sit in that particular one.
The front seats were occupied, and there one man, a white man, standing. And at this point, the driver asked us to stand up and let him have those seats. And when none of us moved at his first words, he said, "Y'all make it light on yourselves and let me have those seats."
He was real upset because she didn't obey him. He asked her to get up out the seat.
The bus stopped and refused to move until she moved.
Were you scared?
A little bit, because back then they would beat you for nothing. They would just beat you like you was a dog or cat. And so I was a little bit afraid. I wanted her to get up. Because if I had been sitting on there, I would have gotten up.
She never moved. A couple of minutes later, the police came and arrested her.
They put her hands behind her and tied her like she was a criminal.
Isn't that crazy? She got arrested for sitting on a bus. News traveled fast about the tired woman arrested for not wanting to give up her seat.
Not moving.
E.D. Nixon and Joanne Robinson were local leaders of the black community. They have been planning a bus boycott for a long time, and Rosa Parks was the last straw. They printed up flyers for a one-day boycott. They formed the MIA, the Montgomery Improvement Association, an official group to oversee the boycott. One new local pastor who was quickly becoming popular for his passion for black rights was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He joined as the leader of the MIA. The boycott was going down for real. The MIA and Dr. King were hoping for a 60% turnout. They were very surprised that almost nobody rode the bus that day.
I have to do this for 380 more days.
The bus company lost about $3,000 that day. That type of loss can put them out of business. Dr. King knew that would be bad for everyone. They wanted to have a meeting with the city and the bus company to talk about a settlement. That didn't work out because the city and the bus company didn't want to talk. The MIA had a meeting at a church and everybody came. I mean, everybody came. The church was overflowing. They asked them if they wanted to continue the boycott, and the answer was a big yes.
All in favor, let it be known by standing on your feet.
Yes! The boycott is on.
The MIA and Dr. King were faced with daily struggles of keeping such a big boycott going. They came up with a bunch of different ideas, like carpooling with each other to get around, black taxi drivers charging the same fare as buses did. The MIA made meeting places for people to find rides. Mostly people walk though. Will we walk in the rain? I hope this guy can drive me tomorrow. I only have to figure out how to get to work for 275 more days. We didn't have cell phones. No texting, no Snapchat. This dedication and hard work quickly drew nationwide attention, which was good and bad. Black churches from all around the country donated cars to help with carpooling. They also took up a collection of shoes to send down to Montgomery so the people had a free place to get new shoes. The bad came in the form of police harassment. The police started pulling all the cars over and giving them tickets for dumb, made-up lies. Dr. King was arrested for driving 5 miles per hour. Not 50, 5. The bad also came in the form of violence groups like the KKK. They threatened and beat taxi drivers who worked with the boycott. They harassed and threatened people at the ride meeting places. This, of all the harassment, was the worst. As the violence grew, African Americans wanted to fight back. This grew to a head one night, about 6 weeks into the boycott, when Dr. King's house was bombed. Nobody was hurt, but the porch was destroyed. People came out in their pajamas with guns, bats, and knives, ready for a fight. Dr. King promised them that a non-violent response to their violence was the answer to success.
I want Montgomery to prove to the world that we will refuse to hit back.
This non-violent approach had power. Gandhi inspired it. Eventually, after many sacrifices, their dream finally came true. On November 15th, 1956, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of the MIA and Dr. King.
Protest against city buses is officially called off, and the Negro citizens of Montgomery are urged to return to the buses tomorrow morning on a non-segregated basis.
That was only the beginning for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He would go on and keep changing the world positively.
One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
He went from city to city fighting for civil rights. He was assassinated in Memphis on April 4th, 1968, while helping to get equal rights for garbage workers in that city. Rosa Parks received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1996. She died in October 24th, 2005 in Detroit after facing racism her entire life. She was 92 years old. She had been through a lot and lived a long life. The struggle continues today. The influence of Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and many others are still with us.
In some ways, we've come a long way. We can eat together, we can go to school together, we can play together. But in other ways, we're going backwards.